When the mist lifted. Carlos Carrasquero. The pier had been built before anyone in the village could remember, its planks silvered by salt and years, its posts sunk deep into the dark lakebed. Each morning, it stretched into the water like a patient finger, pointing toward the horizon where mist gathered and lingered as if reluctant to leave. And each morning, without fail, the old man sat at its edge with a simple rod and a tin pail at his side. He never spoke to those who passed. Children learned to lower their voices when they ran across the boards. Fishermen gave him a respectful nod. Some said he had once been the strongest sailor on the lake. Others said he had been there longer than the pier itself. The truth was thinner than rumor and quieter. That morning, the mist was thick as wool. It swallowed the water and blurred the sky into a pale and endless gray. The old man cast his line into nothingness and watched the ripples vanish. He did not blink often. He did not shiver in the cold. Footsteps creaked behind him. "Grandpa," a girl's voice called softly, "you should not be here so early." He did not turn. She stepped closer, her boots tapping against damp wood. She was young, perhaps 12, her hair tied back with a faded ribbon. She held her hands together as if warming them, though there was no fire nearby. "They said the mist would lift today," she went on. "Mama says it is time to let it." The old man kept his eyes on the water. The float bobbed once, then stilled. The girl sighed and lowered herself beside him. Their shoulders did not quite touch. She leaned forward, peering into the fog as though expecting something to stare back. "What is so fun about doing this?" she asked, gesturing toward the rod, the patient waiting, the empty pail. "You sit here every day and never catch anything." The line trembled with the smallest movement of the water. He did not answer. A gull cried somewhere above the mist. The sound felt distant, muffled. The girl rested her chin in her hands. The float dipped again, then rose. The old man's hands did not react. They were steady, pale, almost translucent in the dim light. For a while they sat in silence. The village behind them began to stir. A door slammed, a dog barked. The world was waking. Then the girl straightened. "Look," she whispered. The mist was thinning. Threads of blue began to show above, faint and trembling. Sunlight pierced the gray and fragile beams. The water, once hidden, revealed its surface in a shimmer of gold. "It is finally leaving," she said. The old man remained still. But as the light touched him, something shifted. His coat stirred, though there was no wind. His outline wavered, edges fraying like old cloth. The girl watched without fear. The mist peeled away from the pier, retreating across the lake. With it went the weight in the air, the hush that had held the world in suspension. The old man's hands loosened around the rod. His shoulders thinned, becoming light, becoming less. Sunlight passed through him as through morning smoke. In a breath, he unraveled into pale threads that lifted and scattered into the clearing sky. The rod clattered softly onto the wood. The line slipped free into the water. The girl exhaled and stood, brushing salt from her skirt. She looked at the empty place beside her, at the pail that had never held a fish. "Even gone Grandpa likes to fish," she said with a small sigh. Then she picked up the rod and cast the line into the bright and waiting lake,